Hello YouTubers, once again welcome to the Depression. This is Discovery World channel. Thank you for your contributions in making this channel a success. For subscribing to the channel. This is the only channel that brings to you the different methods and which you can design a fuel generator, and the method, the renovation is currently going on as far as fuel generator is concerned. Last week I explained in a very detailed practically on how you can convert a 15 kilowatts generator of old type to a new one in case you don't have the money to buy a new generator for your own energy design. You can buy the old type, that's the old, you can call it old scrap, and then do some maintenance on it, renovate it, clean it, and then paint it or spray it, and then you can use it for your operation. I show you practically on how you can do that. For those of you who have not watched that video, please, you can go to the playlist and get yourself acquainted to that. So today I'm going to explain, very important, because one of my subscribers asked a question on how you can convert a generator as petrol generator to a fuel generator. And I know I've done video in the past, and I've told you that anytime there's innovation on that issue, I'll always bring to your notice and I'll always bring to your view. So this is what exactly I want to do today, because the young man asked a question. I explained to him the kind of motor he's going to use. He was satisfied. He asked more questions. I keep answering. So I decided to look for something that will make him to get him understanding, and I believe he's watching can also get an understanding. Today I'm going to explain on how you can change a petrol generator to fuel type generator. First of all, I've explained to you in many occasions that there are two sections of generator. We have the mechanical section and we have the electrical section. Now, in every generator you have something like this. You have the mechanical. The mechanical section is the area where you put the fuel, and the fuel now supplied to the carburetor. From carburetor you go to where we have the piston and all that. That's where the mechanical section is. The component that make the section, carburetor, the piston, the rings, the obstacle up of this generator and others, the plugs. All this one give rise to the mechanical section. And I told you many questions that it is not the fuel you put on the generator that makes the generator to produce light. And what exactly makes the generator to produce light is the ability for generator to turn. And when the generator turns, it's now ignites and produces light. And that is where the electrical section is all about this year. So the electrical section of generator does the energy production. The mechanical section of the generator does the rotational system. That is the two things. Now that is where we derive in the free system. What is exactly free energy system? Is energy that runs without the use of petrol. Now look at exactly in this section. Now you have two things here. Now we have in this place you have electrical section, then in this place you have electromechanical section, and this place you have the electric motor, which is now has a rod that connects on it to join the mechanical to electrical. Now what exactly we intend to achieve here? The mechanical section is the area where the current is being produced. The electrical section is the area where the current is being produced. The mechanical section is the area where the fuel is put that enable the rotation to turn. So now if this is extracted now, as extracted, and then you get into the motor, you now get it. Now in this case, what is done here is that instead of us to divide it into from electrical section here, which is what is here, you just remove the cover out, and then in the piston, because the piston still move up and down, and the piston does not really work apart from the fact that it rotates, it moves up and down, up and down, up and down. Now what it does is that now you see the rod here is connected to this area of the motor. Now in the area of the motor now is what that when the motor turns, it now rotates the piston and at the same time rotates the generator, which enables it to produce light. Now let us go practically, because I don't want to go most on theory. And this is exactly what I'm trying to explain to you. This is a new generator now, as you can see, champion generator. You remove everything here. As you can see, all the sections have been removed. You will apply in the motor. You are applying the motor because we are doing experiment. You are applying the motor in this section now. This is the motor here. Then if you look at this one now, as you can see now, this is the area of the piston and this is the area of the generator. This generator. Then you have a mini section here, which is the area of the piston. Now, if you look critically, the piston is linked to this section, which enable it to rotate. That is to turn, go up and down, up and down, up and down. That was exactly what happened now. Now, we have piston going up and down now. We have provision for light, which is exactly what we are doing. Let's go ahead and see.
At this point, the electrical motor is connected to the house outlet. We're testing both the motor and the generator to make sure they work.
You can see now, you see the current increases because there is rotation on this motor is turning the generator, and the generator produces like this AC voltage. As you can see, the voltage is coming out because this generator is peaking. Now let's continue. Now, the motor stop and the generator stop. Now, let's continue. You can see it now. This is producing voltage that is used to run this now. Now you can check it on this area of meter. When the meter is on, you plug the meter. When the meter is on, light comes in. When the meter is up, light goes up.
But it's there for insurance. Initially, the power will come through the wall or the outlet, and both switches would be in the first position. When the switch is in the second position, they switch the power between the wall and the generator. Here's a diagram. When the switches are in the first position, the motor gets the power from the wall. And when the switch is in the second position, the motor gets the power from the generator. Versus 110. Without a lathe, it's almost impossible to get it centered, but it is good enough for what we're trying to do. This test shows that the motor is capable to rotate the generator fast enough to produce power. And here's our new setup. The power output from the generator is going to supply the power to the first motor. In theory, the motor should turn the generator, and the second motor is powered by the wall outlets. The second motor will provide the initial rotation for all devices. In theory, after the initial rotation, the generator should provide enough power to do the rest of the work.